There comes a time when you, as a mom, have to take back your main character energy. I woke up this morning and a few things happened, and it was already kind of on my mind anyway, just like how I'm transitioning through the space of motherhood. But I began to write a few things that I wanted to share today with you. So, being a mom, especially a mom who was raised in a not so great way, takes a lot of freaking energy because we want to be everything we can be for our kids. And we don't want to mess them up in ways that we had to do a lot of healing and inner work to overcome. So they don't even understand how much work goes into making sure we're great moms. We're working from a space that we never even visited before. We're trying to work from a space of healed childhood when a lot of our childhoods were toxic, they were messy, and so here we are trying to give everything to our kids. And at some point, it could just feel like we don't know where we end and our kids' lives begin because they somehow get merged. We're making sacrifices. We're asking how they feel. We're showing up in different ways. We're trying to be the best that we could possibly be. But sometimes it's just simply tiring. It's exhausting. It's draining, especially when they get to be teens and they're having their own moods and stuff. And you're like, girl, you don't even realize just how much I had to regulate just to get up today. And then I got to regulate you too. No, there comes a time that as a mom, you need to take back your main character energy. So here's the benefits of reclaiming main character energy as a mom. Number one, you show up for yourself in a way that builds self trust. Your kids trust you with their lives, whether they scoff at you or roll their eyes, they trust you with their lives. Can you say the same for yourself? Because you're so all the time in the world catering to your roles and responsibilities that a lot of times you haven't even had time for yourself by the time it's time to lay your head down at night. So what happens with that is everyone learns that they can trust you, but you have not had enough experiences where you feel that you can fully trust yourself. Now, you might trust yourself to get you out of sticky situations or to be a fixer because maybe you've developed a type A personality because you're the person who fixes everything. But do you trust yourself to take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that will keep you up at night if you're not actually doing the work for. So, showing up for yourself is going to build that self trust that you need. And you get to show up for yourself better when you lean into the main character energy. Number two, rediscover just how vibrant and even sexy you are when you lean into your main character energy. And I say vibrant and sexy because sexy and mom is typically not in the same sentence for many of us. A lot of us don't think mom and think vibrant and sexy, hot and sexy. A lot of us think tired and downtrodden with a lot of things to do and a lot of responsibilities. And we don't even see our sex appeal in some cases because we have given our life force energy to our children and the things around us. Whenever we reclaim that main character energy, we get back in touch with the things like getting our nails done, you know, enjoying ourselves, having pleasure, even if it's by yourself, doing the things that make us feel rooted, walking with a switch. When the last time you walked with a switch and just kind of let your hips really flow? I noticed that after doing yoga for the first time, and I've been doing yoga for about 2 years, I realized just how locked up my hips were. My hips actually sway. I actually have a switch when I walk. But did I know that? Not really, because I'm over here trying to be upstanding and be, we want to have a certain look for our kids. And I have forced myself to be in a particular box for my kid so that I can show up in a way that my mom didn't show up for me in. My mom was uber sexy, uber sex. Now my grandmother raised me, but my mom was uber. She dripped sex appeal to the point where I did not want her to come to my school, randomly because I knew what that was going to entail. And though she had her own drawbacks as a mom, I love that about her. I love that about her whenever she was that age because she did not let motherhood take away her sex appeal. She did not let motherhood take away her vibrancy. Stop trying to fit into the mold so much and actually lean into being who you just simply are. And when you lean into who you simply are, you get back in touch with the inner girl. The girl that was 18, 19, partying in college. The woman that was 25 years old, just learning to explore herself and know what she likes and dislikes. The woman at 30 who said, you know what, a lot of these societal norms are not for me to carry. You get more in touch with her. The third benefit of embodying main character energy is that you get new pockets of energy to draw from even when the reservoir is low. So think of yourself like a vessel, like a cup, and you fill yourself up with things that make you feel good to the point that you're in overflow. Your cup runneth over. Now, the ideal thing is to only serve others whenever we're in overflow. But we know that as moms, we've been taught to be self sacrificing in a way. So we're used to giving even though our cup is not even filled. Whenever you click into that main character energy, you create little pockets, little emergency funds of energy that you can tap into whenever you need to because you've been taking care of yourself. You can kind of correlate this to the idea of getting a vacuum for Christmas versus getting a massage membership for Christmas. Getting a vacuum for Christmas means you are being given a gift to do service of the house, which is really service of everyone else. But if you were to get a massage membership for Christmas, that changes the whole trajectory of what the gift really means. The gift means this is for you. Creating the reservoir of the energy pockets is for you. This is the equivalent of getting the massage membership because you are taking care of yourself and you're not allowing yourself to get completely depleted. And even when you get to places of depletion, you know you have little pockets for yourself because you are taking care of yourself. I can't preach that enough. I'm not even freaking playing. Number four, I've already mentioned this earlier, but you get to reconnect with the girl in you. The one who loves cheetah print and red fingernails, the one who loves neon lights. She loves a night out and she loves to sleep in. She loves being lazy on a Sunday or even a Wednesday. And she loves ordering in food because I ain't cooking tonight. You feel me? A lot of us feel like, we have to look a certain way. Food has to be on the table every single night. It has to be done this time, this way. I was like that for like the first 10 years of my daughter's life. And as time went on, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. And your kids need to see that mom is human. Your daughters need to see that mom is human because they are going to emulate you later on in life. They're going to do some of the things that you've done. And if they've seen you be a martyr, then they expect to be a martyr. They have learned to be self sacrificing because of what you do. And your boys, your sons, need, oh my gosh, I can't, they need to see mom getting tired, mom taking rest, mom pouring into herself, mom making sure that she is okay. If they don't see these things, they think that you never get tired. They think that women never get tired. And so when they go out into the dating world, when they get older, they are expecting women to be like their mother. They're expecting the women to work three jobs. They're expecting her to work one job and come home and still cook and clean. They're expecting her never to need a break, never complaining, never needing rest because you never showed them that you are a full human who has human experiences. Just as much as you get tired, son, mom gets tired twice as much because I'm holding up a lot. Your kids need to see the girl in you, and they need to also see the girl in you come out whenever you need rest, whenever you need a break. You know what? Mom's going to reconnect with herself. I'm going to paint my nails over the weekend. Matter of fact, y'all are going to go with grandma and grandpa over the weekend, and I'm going to go take a weekend to get a hotel out of the city and just decompress. Your kids need to see that really bad. And here's a reality that you didn't even consider: kids are moving out later and later in life. So here you are thinking that at 18, you're going to send them off to college and you're going to have some sense of, newness open up for you to actually experience new things or things that you wouldn't necessarily allow yourself for to reawaken certain parts of your life. When in reality, a lot of kids ain't going to college at 18, or if they go to college, they're staying home to save money because they don't want to be in debt like a lot of their parents have become in debt. Or those kids are going to college or do it, whatever, but they're staying home till they're 26, 27, 28, 29. They're not like a lot of us were. So if you are putting off living until your kids are, off on their own, you may not get a chance to live for 30 freaking years. So you need to start living and embodying that main character energy today. You are the star of your own show. You love your children. Your children are wonderful. You pour into them as much as you can, but you make sure to pour into yourself too. Because if not now, when? If not now, when? If you don't start embodying who you actually are and getting back in touch with yourself when your kid is 12 years old, when are you really going to do it? When they're 28? By then you'll have so much things that have passed you that you'll feel like you've done yourself a disservice, and it'll be because you did do yourself a disservice. Number two is you can lose your femininity in raising a family. Yeah, because you're type A. You're always figuring things out. Your wheels are always turning. You're hyper vigilant. You're looking left. You're looking right. You're making sure everything is perfect. You're making sure everything is great, especially if you're a single mom or even a married single mom where you pretty much carry the load of child rearing and homemaking and even working. You can lose your femininity in parenting, especially as your kids get older. Your daughter gets older and she is embarking more on her femininity and she needs money. So you're working harder to make sure that she has what she needs. And you're putting this money in her hand and you look down at your nails and they're jagged. You look at your face in the morning and you don't recognize who you're becoming. Things are starting to feel out of whack. Your back is hurting because you ain't went and got a massage. You never got a massage. When's the last time you got a pedicure? You're not even taking care of yourself in your own feminine essence, doing a deep breath and meditation, really connecting with your body, moving, dancing, flowing. You're not doing those things because your femininity has been sucked right on out of you because you have been performing this major role for your family. Here's the new beliefs that I am embodying starting today. Like I ain't playing because I'm not going to get away from me for nobody. As much as I love my child, as much as I love everyone, and I know as much as you love your children, we cannot get too far away from ourselves because we're also doing a disservice to our children. That is whenever that feeling of, do you know how much I've done for you as a parent shows up because you have done so much. You've given so much. You've sacrificed so much. But your kids never ask for that. Your kids never asked for that. Your kids didn't ask you to abandon yourself. You decided to do that. So even if you want to just be a better mom in general, you need to reconnect with your main character energy. You need to become the person, not mom, not wife, not daughter, but Ebony. You need to be who you are so that you can show up in ways that are fulfilling for both you and the person. They don't feel like you're always martyring to be there for them. They understand that sometimes you're going to need space alone. They understand that you get tired and drained. They understand that, you know what, this weekend is mom's weekend and it ain't Mother's Day. It's just her weekend. She simply needs to be by herself. She wants to take a weekend of solitude. She wants to take a weekend of silence. She wants to go off and go to another country for the weekend. Like she wants to do these things and she should be able to do these things. Your kids need to see you being yourself, not always mom. Number one belief that I'm shifting into to embody this energy and to activate it in my nervous system. Everyone knows how to do what they need to do. They don't need my nagging or reminders. In the story, they know what they need to do, especially after a certain age. They know their routines. So shift out of regulator and shift into consultant. You are not the warden of the house. You are the mom of the house. You are the feminine energy of the house. You should not be, dictating and yelling and being upset. The kids know what time bedtime is. The kids know when dinner is. The kids know when certain things are supposed to be done. They know the trash needs to be taken out. They know they have chores. They know they have things that they're supposed to be doing. So instead of being such a big regulator, shift into being the consultant. Let me tell you what I think you should do. Let me tell you what would actually be helpful to you, son or daughter. Not necessarily, you need to do this because you need to go bed. You need to go to bed. It's 10 p.m. And if you don't fall asleep by 10:30, you're tired and cranky at school tomorrow. No, let they but stay up if they want to stay up. And they can pay with the consequences tomorrow when they're tired in school. Now, I'm definitely, when I speak on this, I'm talking about really older kids, But because when they're younger, they're still learning the routines of life. And you do have to put your foot down in some areas. But as they get older, shift out of that regulating energy and shift more into the consultancy energy. And whenever they realize that their way is making them tired, their way is making it so that they don't have enough energy throughout the day, their way is making it so they got clothes all over their room that haven't been washed because they never put them in the hamper like you told them to, and therefore you didn't wash them because you are now the consultant and not the regulator, they'll understand and they'll come to their senses and they'll do what they need to do. Let them start figuring out things for themselves. Not the hard way, but the consequential way. Number two, I am responsible for my emotions. I am responsible for my emotions. Emotions are where the body and the mind meet. And the mind, if you think too much and obsess too much over things, it can lead to compulsion. So I even regulate my emotions by detaching from the mind, realizing I am not the thinker, I am not the thought. I am the person observing me thinking the thought. I am outside of myself. I zoom out of experiences and realize that I can detach from this. I don't have to obsess over them getting their homework done. They're 16 years old. If they get a zero in the class, then I will enforce whatever consequential things from there. But I am not going to be the person who is having this crazy compulsion for their future if they don't have the crazy compulsion for their future. I'm going to meet you where you are, simply put. Now, I know this one might be a little controversial, but they understand what they're supposed to do. And I am responsible for my own emotions. I will not get out of whack and get dysregulated trying to regulate for my kid, period. This is how I maintain my main character energy. This is how I maintain my freaking sanity. I'm going to meet you where you are. It's like the dollar for dollar match. You come this way, I come that way. If you don't come this way, if you don't come to this certain distance, I'm not going to come to 80% of the way. Now, in some cases, I'm not saying it's completely 50-50 because you are mom. So maybe I'll do 60-40. You come 40, I come 60. But what I'm not going to do is come 99 and you come 1. Especially as they get older. Again, a lot of these tips are for when they get older. And when I'm saying older, I'm thinking like over age 12 is when you can start implementing a lot more of this consultancy energy and less regulator energy. The last belief that I am embodying to really shift me into this energy is I do not have to always be on. I will set up systems so I don't have to always be on. Easy food in the fridge. This is easy frozen meals that you've pre-made. So maybe you made a pot roast and you doubled the amount of pot roast that you made so that you could put half in a freezer bag and do the little air suction thing out and put it in the freezer. So at any time you could throw that roast in the freaking crock pot and you have a delicious dinner made in an hour and a half of it being on low and slow in the crock pot. Um, this is getting your kids a teen Uber account. I have not done this yet for my daughter, but I have been considering it here lately, where maybe, especially when we're back in the US, where maybe you need a teen Uber account. I've heard of a lot of kids having it and things going well. I even hear that there's a feature where you can hear the conversation in the car as they're driving. So maybe it's something as simple as getting them a teen Uber account. So if you miss the bus, you take the Uber. I'm not going to leave work to come figure that out for you. Here is the solution. Maybe you do things like make sure that backup family, like godparents or friends, are on standby. Hey, Jason gets out of school at 4 p.m. I don't get off work till 4:30. Are you available around that time to pick him up? He may be calling you because he may get out early, just letting you know. Will you be available at that time to make sure he's okay? Letting your community know that you need help and you're not a one woman show and you could use the assistance is key. Shut down house time so that they're prompted to begin preparing for bed. So maybe you're not necessarily saying it's bedtime, but every night at 8 p.m., the house is shut down. That means that living room is clear and clean. kitchen is clear and clean, and the house is shut down for the night. So that will prompt you that your bedtime is in 2 hours. You need to start making your way to making the plans to getting to bed, whether that's you get scrolling your phone for an hour, play your game for an hour, but you know that 9 o'clock you need to start taking your shower and doing the things because you know the routine, you know the schedule, and I'm trusting that you're going to follow it through. And if you don't follow it through and you don't take a shower that night, when they say that you don't smell good at school tomorrow, that's the consequence. You'll realize that when you get home from school, oh, I'm gonna make sure I get that shower before tomorrow morning so that I smell good at school tomorrow. I'm not doing that. I'm not nagging. I'm not complaining. I'm simply just being. Also, auto schedule massage appointments. Yes, schedule you a massage every month before you even leave. After the last massage, make sure the next massage is scheduled. Don't wait to call them. Just go ahead and put it on the books, and you work your life around that appointment, not work that appointment around your life. Make sure that you have something set for yourself, even if that's getting your nails done. If that makes you feel good, or getting a pedicure, maybe every 2 weeks you either get a pedicure or a massage, something that gets you back in your body and makes you feel more like yourself. Even auto setting or scheduling time with your girlfriends. Listen, girls, one Saturday out of every month, we make sure to go out and have dinner. One Sunday out of every month, we make sure to have a girls' brunch at one of our houses. That's just what it is. We don't try to work it into life. We set the appointment and we allow work to work around that because it's a non negotiable. Taking care of yourself, making sure you have time to yourself, making sure that you're catered for and feeling good, that is a non negotiable from this state forward. Daily meditations, self regulating yourself on a daily basis, making sure that you get up an hour ahead of your alarm clock at least to make sure you're doing the breath work, making sure that you're getting time in to pray if that's what you do. Get your shower in. If you take your shower first thing in the morning, make sure your face is washed, putting on a 5 minute face of makeup, doing the things that make you feel like yourself. If you need to listen to a sermon in the morning, if you need to do some yoga in the morning, if you need to make your coffee in the morning, make sure you have that time and space in the morning to take care of yourself. Oh, and then nightly check ins for self. This is where you could be doing your journaling. It doesn't take much. Set a 5 minute timer and journal about your day. Maybe you could just journal about a win, or you could journal about something that you feel like is an opportunity for growth for you, and make that a nightly check in with yourself so that you're always coming back to self and making sure that you're okay. We can get so swept up in life that we feel like we don't even have time to do a 5 minute freaking journal for ourselves in the evening. And that is a lie from the pits of hell. And I dispel it for you and I dispel it for me. We are writing every night to make sure we do some sense of a check in. And if you're not a writer, do a voice note and date it and put a time on it so that you can revisit it anytime you need to. And then weekly check ins with your kids. It's okay to every Friday evening, you sit down with each of them by themselves so that they have, person to person time, parent, mom to kid time, and say, hey, is everything going good? You can even do this at dinner, of course, but I think it's important to still have a roundabout check in. How are things going? Is school going good? How's life? Are you, making new friends? Is there anything you want to talk about? Is there any way that you need me to support you that I haven't been? Is there something that you need me to do more of, instead of just assuming as parents? Because a lot of times these things that we go above and beyond to do for our kids, they don't appreciate it because they didn't ask for it and they don't feel like they need it. So check in with them to actually ask them what it is that they may need in the moment. And this also teaches them how to voice their concerns, how to voice what they actually need, and it'll make it easier for them as they get older. And the best thing about this is it satisfies your need to do everything right. I got to do this right. I got to do this mom thing right. Because I have one child and I had this child so young, I've always felt like I got to do everything right. This is my one shot. I don't want to mess up my kid. I got to do it right. And that has plagued me in a sense because it makes me overwork in places I don't really have to. So I hope that these tips and tricks make you reclaim that main character energy for yourself. You are a woman first. You are you first. You are not a mom first. And it's okay to actually admit that. You can be a woman first and still love your kids immensely. You could take care of your kids and take care of yourself. You could put yourself first in situations because when you put yourself first, your overflow is going to take care of the kids in the house and all the other responsibilities. You are not a bad person for feeling this way. So, again, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things that support a brand new channel. I hope this was helpful and have a beautiful, fabulous, and abundant day. Bye, beautiful.